We are going to page number 197, verse number 62, Surah At-Tawbah. Verse number 62, Surah At-Tawbah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. يحلفون بالله لكم ليرضوكم والله ورسوله أحق أن يرضوه إن كانوا مؤمنين. ألم يعلموا أنه من يحادد الله ورسوله فأن له نار جهنم خالدا فيها ذلك الخزي العظيم. يحذر المنافقون أن تنزل عليهم سورة تنبئهم بما في قلوبهم قل استهزئوا إن الله مخرج ما تحذرون. ولئن سألتهم ليقولن إنما كنا نخوض ونلعب قل أبالله وآياته ورسوله كنتم تستهزئون. لا تعتذروا قد كفرتم بعد إيمانكم إن نعف عن طائفة منكم نعذب طائفة بأنهم كانوا مجرمين. المنافقون والمنافقات بعضهم من بعض يأمرون بالمنكر وينهون عن المعروف ويقبضون أيديهم نسوا الله فنسيهم إن المنافقين هم الفاسقون. وعد الله المنافقين والمنافقات والكفار نار جهنم خالدين فيها هي حسبهم ولعنهم الله ولهم عذاب مقيم. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. The first verse, number 62, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said regarding the hypocrites. يحلفون بالله. They swear by Allah. They swear by Allah to Muslims in order to please them. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam is more fitting to be pleased if they are true believers. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in many different verses said, whenever the hypocrites are in trouble, they always use the name of Allah and they swear by Allah, because whenever you see somebody swear by the name of Allah, you will believe in Him. But Allah said, they take the name of Allah as a barrier and a shelter and a security for them from being in trouble with Muslims. But Allah said, they are really liars. They hinder people from the path of Allah. Worst what they have done before. So, nowadays, even in our time, if you see somebody always say, swear by Allah, swear by Allah, if you are truthful, if you tell the truth, brother, you don't need to swear by Allah. You will say, brother, I'm telling the truth. Whether you like it or not, this is what I believe. But whoever swear by Allah, most often, I'm not saying he's a liar, big question mark. If the person trusting himself and doesn't lie, he doesn't need to swear by Allah. He doesn't need. That's why Allah, each time He talk about the hypocrite, He used that form. They take the name of Allah and they swear by the name of Allah to show people how truthful are they, but they are not. If you recite the Quran and whenever any verses talk about the Quran, about the hypocrites, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, go to Surah Al-Munafiqun. إذا جاءك المنافقون قالوا نشهد إنك لرسول الله والله يعلم إنك لرسول والله يشهد إن المنافقين لكاذبون اتخذوا أيمانهم جنة. They swear by the name of Allah for the believer, true believer, believe in what they say while they are lying. فصدوا عن سبيل الله إنهم ساء ما كانوا يعملون. Many verses. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, يحلفون بالله لكم إنهم لمنكم وما هم منكم. They swear by Allah that they are true believer, but they are not. يحلفون بالله لكم ليرضوكم. They swear by the name of Allah to please you. I don't want you to please me. Please Allah and His Messenger. Right? By what? By telling the truth. By telling the truth. If you really fear Allah, you don't need to swear by His name. Just do the truth, say the truth, judge with the truth, and whether the people like it or not, your target is to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is the first verse that Allah said, يَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ لَكُمْ لِيُرْضُوكُمْ. They will swear by the name of Allah to please you, but it's more fitting that they should please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Messenger if they are true believers. Someone came and swore by Allah, one of the hypocrites. And you know what did he say? My group is our chiefs and our masters. Because some people recognize that some group of people are not true believers. That's why everywhere you can find them. They hate the truth, they hate Quran, they hate admonishes. As Allah said, وَكَذَلِكَ جَعَلْنَا فِي كُلِّ قَرْيَةٍ أَكَابِرَ مُجْرِمِيهَا لِيَمْكُرُوا فِينَا. In each town, there is some people plot evil against the true believers. But Allah said, they will not harm the true believer at all. They harm nobody but themselves. But they don't understand. It's like, because, you know about brother, hypocrisy, hatred and enmity, like somebody carrying a piece of fire in his hand. Whom he gonna harm first? Himself. Himself. This is exactly the example of hatred and enmity. Burn and harms nobody before himself. He's the first one to be the victims of the hatred and enmity and plot evil against Muslims. So that person who's hypocrite, he said, my friends, which will be hypocrites too, is the community leaders and masters. And listen, what did he say? You know what does he mean with this? Muhammad is not a prophet, but indirectly, he gave some hint to people to understand, no, Muhammad is not the leader. The leaders are our people. And listen, what did they say? If what Muhammad says is true, then we are worse than donkeys. That's what he said. What that means. He just wants to say, we are very smart, we are very wise, and now that Muhammad is not a prophet, that's why we don't follow him. And they said, if what he says is true, that means we have no mind, we are very stupid. I'm sorry. So a Muslim man heard what he said, and he conveyed what the man said to the Prophet ﷺ. Oh Prophet, I heard somebody say so and so and so. So the Prophet ﷺ invited him. And he said, I didn't. So the hypocrite involved curses on himself and swore by Allah that he never said that. You know the hadith? Ayatul Munafiqi Thalath. Signs of hypocrisy are three. If he speak, he tells lie. If he promise, he broke the promises. If he was entrusted, he never returned the trust back. One of them will speak. And not only that, he swore by Allah that he never said that. Meanwhile, the Muslim man said, O Prophet, assert the truth of the truthful and expose the lies of the liars. He asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this person, that Muslim person, oh Allah, I'm in trouble. I'm in trouble with this person. Assert the truth of the truthful and expose the lies of the liars. At that moment, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed that verse. يَحْلِفُونَ بِاللَّهِ لَكُمْ. The first one. لِيُرْضُوكُمْ وَاللَّهُ وَرَسُولُهُ أَحَقُّ أَنْ يُرْضُوهُ إِنْ كَانُوا مُؤْمِنِينَ. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the verse of innocency to the Muslim person, to the true one, to the true person, and Allah assert the lie of the liar one. And Allah said, أَلَمْ يَعْلَمُوا, and this verse for us also, brother. أَلَمْ يَعْلَمُوا, don't you know that whoever opposes and shows hostility to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet, certainly for him will be the fire of the hell to abide therein. Don't you know that Allah knows your secret? And whatever you conceal in your heart, whatever you appear, Allah knows it. وَأَنَّ اللَّهَ عَلَّامُ الْغُيُوبِ. Don't you know that Allah knows everything that the people may conceal in their heart? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, whoever opposes and shows hostility to Allah or His Messenger, for him will be the hellfire. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, ذَلِكَ الْخِزْيُ الْعَظِيمُ. That's the extreme disgrace. This is the extreme disgrace. يَحْذَرُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ, verse number 3, which is number 64. يَحْذَرُ means some people fear. They were so worried. For what? They were afraid that Allah would reveal the verse mentioning their name. Subhanallah. يَحْذَرُ الْمُنَافِقُونَ أَن تُنَزَّلَ عَلَيْهِمْ سُورَةٌ تُنَبِّئُهُم بِمَا فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ. The hypocrites fear lest a chapter should be revealed about them, showing them what's in their hearts. Subhanallah. Say, go ahead. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, قُلْ يَا Muhammad, say, O Muhammad, go ahead and mock as you want. But certainly, Allah will bring to light all that you fear. Allah will bring what you conceal into your heart, into truth, and Allah will inform His Messenger and the Muslim community about their plot evil against the true believers. قُلْ اسْتَهْزِئُوا. For sure, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring out all what they conceal into their heart and inform the Muslim community about them. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in Surah Muhammad, very strong verse for those who keep hatred, enmity, or discord in their hearts towards Muslims. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, أَمْ حَسِبَ الَّذِينَ فِي قُلُوبِهِمْ مَرَضٌ أَلَّنْ يُخْرِجَ اللَّهُ أَضْغَانَهُمْ. Those in whose heart is a disease. What disease do we talk about? It's a hypocrisy. Hypocrisy is the most dangerous disease, brother. Any kind of physical disease can be treated. But how are you going to treat? Do you know any doctor treats hypocrisy? Yes. I will give you the phone number and the business card. That book. Don't you know that Allah said, we reveal the Quran as what? As a cure to the heart disease, to the chest disease, hatred, enmity. شفاء لما في الصدور. لما في الصدور. Allah said, recite the Quran and contemplate about the meaning of this book and try your best to implement what you understood into actions. This is the way to treat any disease that remain in our hearts towards Muslims. So Allah said, to those on whose heart there is a disease, means hypocrisy, think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not bring out to light what they conceal into their heart. And listen what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said. وَلَوْ نَشَاءُ لَأَرَيْنَاكَهُمْ. If we will, O Muhammad, we will inform you by names. فَلَعَرَفْتَهُمْ. And you will recognize them by their signs. You know how? وَلَتَعْرِفَنَّهُمْ فِي لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ. You will recognize them by the tone of their speech. Somebody tried to show others, I'm a knowledgeable person. Who is this shaykh that give the khutbah? And by the way, wallahi brother, there is a problem. Back home here, last Sunday I visited a mosque. I met with a Muslim brother. He left no scholar name. Any scholar in this city, he criticized them one by one. I said, brother, that's why one of the Sahaba heard somebody criticizing everybody. One Muslim passing by, Assalamu alaikum, alaikum salam, and he said, the hypocrite. Do you know that person? Everybody said, well, we know nothing, but he's good. No, you are so kind. I know him. What do you know about him? He's this and that, and he starts. So brother was a smart Muslim brother. Muslim always, the true believer always wise brother. He asked him a question. Have you ever fights with Muslim troops against the kuffar? He said, no. Never? He said, how come the kuffar, who's the enemy of Allah, are safe from your evil, and Muslims are not safe from your evil of your time? Is that what you know about your Muslim brother? You never know anything good to mention? Why do we always try to catch mistakes, take advantage? Have you heard the mistake that the Shaykh did in the Quran recitation? Have you heard that? And they remember nothing but that mistake that the Shaykh did. And they forget all the great things that he has done. Why? I'm not talking only about the school, about everybody, in general. Why we always memorize, never forget the mistake that my Muslim brother did, and never remember the good things and spread it out. I said, brother, no Shaykh you like at all? Yeah, and I wait for him and I listen for him about 20 minutes he talked. No, Shaykh so and so, I don't want to mention him. He came and he gave a lecture and I wait for him until he finished. I went behind him to the office and I closed the door because I know how the etiquette. I have to respect the Shaykh, okay? Did you respect him? Yes. Okay. Shaykh, can you explain to me what do you mean with that? But his explanation was not enough for me. And afterwards I said, Shaykh, doesn't make sense to me. Since that time, he doesn't come back. I said, MashaAllah, you are a hero. You are a champion. You stopped the Shaykh coming to the masjid. How great man are you? Why, brother? We target our leaders. We don't say that we are perfect or angels with no mistakes. But why we don't forgive one another? Why we are waiting for change? Why we coming with intention, let me see what the Shaykh says. For he says something, I'm going to destroy him. Why? Why? Wallahi, brother, the last Sunday, not one Shaykh. I can tell you about 5 of our great scholar in this city. This person that, this person that, this person this, this person this. And this is the first time for me to be in that mosque. By the way, I didn't visit about 3 masajid in Houston till now. I'm 11 years here, only 3-4 masajid in Houston. Could you imagine that? Yeah, because I give my full time to this masjid. May Allah accept. Ameen. Subhanallah. So the first time, I said, oh, how great my community is. Alhamdulillah, I don't have this. But at the same time, I was so sad. Why? Why? 20 minutes with somebody criticizing every sheikh, every sheikh, every sheikh. I said, what do you think about me? I said, I'm sure that you're gonna, when I leave, you're gonna talk. Tell me in my face. Tell me in my face. So why we like a lot to destroy one another, to put down one another, to show that they have some knowledge? Well, if we have some knowledge, we will not do that. Imam Shafi'i, when he visited Imam Malik, he used to, Imam Shafi'i to put his hand, Imam Malik put it down. Imam Shafi'i, to respect Imam Malik's madhab and category of fiqh, he put his hand down and followed his own way. Because it's not one of the most compulsory things in Islam. It's a style, prayer style. You put it right, you don't put it right. It's a style. They respect one another because they have knowledge. If you have some knowledge, okay, if you have, I know that. You can send an email. Huh? Nice message. What I know, the Shaykh, is what you say is wrong, and the proof and the reference that they found from that. If I'm wrong, please correct me. May Allah bless you. You did a great job. How nice is that? How nice is that? Why we always remember the mistake and spread the word. Spread the word. My opinion, my humble opinion, what about if he said 60% things right? I'm not saying 90, 60%. Why we don't focus about the 60% right that he said and spread it out? And leave that things aside. How are we going to be? How our community will be, brother, if we spread it? Take the thing that you are sure not, if you have some knowledge and you realize that, for example, bro, somebody last Ashura, 10th of Muharram. After somebody in public, what Ashura you talk about? There is nothing called Ashura. Assalamu alaikum. In public. Is that the way how to discuss such an issue? I said, brother, don't you know that the Prophet ﷺ said, no, no. It's not that, it's not this, it's not, and he left. How are you going to discuss with him? If somebody shake hand with you after Jumayyah, and it's not suitable time nor place. Wait and come another day and said, and by the way, all what he said were wrong, and he doesn't give you a chance. This is proof and indication of his, I'm sorry to say, ignorance. If you have some knowledge, select the right time and place. Because your target is what? To reach the truth. Not propaganda. Not propaganda. In the next month was Sheikh Salah, so mashallah is our Sheikh. I gave him that question, not by me, I said, somebody give me that question. Would you please stress a little bit in your speech about the importance of Ashura, because some people disbelieve in it. And I want it to be in the YouTube, and I want it to be everywhere, for everyone to learn. I'm not going to stand up and say, hey, somebody stop me and says that. I'm not going to say that. I want my community to learn the truth. If it's not from me, from somebody has knowledge more than me. And he put it in the said was true, alhamdulillah. I'm not arrogant, but if you really says, find that I do something wrong, correct me in a nice way. Correct me in a nice way. Sayyidina Umar radiallahu anhu, a woman stopped him on Friday, Jum'ah, and when he tried to help the Muslim community, especially the youth, to marry easily, because the dowry became very hard for the youth to afford. So he said, better, my Muslim brother and sister, to make it very limited. Don't exaggerate giving that much of gold, that much of money, because you made it hard. She said, how are you going to say that? Allah says in the Quran, with proof, brother. If you give a ton of gold, don't take any of it. Make it open for everybody, but advise, don't command. Advise, better to make it simple as much as you can. That's what you're going to do. But don't say, I gave my command to make a standard dowry. Standard dowry. You cannot say that. He said, you're right, I'm wrong. May Allah reward you. She has a proof. She has a proof. And he said, أصابت امرأة وأخطأ الرجل. A woman, Muslim woman was right, and I was wrong. Subhanallah. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, do those on whose heart there is a disease, hatred. And by the way, if hatred in the heart, even if you recite the Quran, he will belie them. What Quran is it? You recite wrong. Your recitation is bad. Your voice is this, is ugly. He will never accept anything because there is a disease in the heart. So the router has a problem. You have no signal. The signal of the Quran, of mercy, of Allah's blessing, of Allah's guidance, doesn't come to your heart. There is a disconnection. If you want to learn, you have to change the router. Change the router. The antenna. You need to change it to better one, to receive the light of guidance, the light of knowledge, and the light of wisdom. So Allah said, do those in whose heart there is a disease, means hypocrisy, hatred and enmity, that Allah doesn't know what they conceal in their heart? Allah said to the Prophet ﷺ, if we will inform you by names about them. And you want to know them? When they speak, they try to show how knowledgeable people are they. How wise people are they. How great, how better than scholar are they. وَلَتَعْرِفَنَّهُمْ فِي لَحْنِ الْقَوْلِ. In their tone of speech, you will recognize them. Because, brother, when you see a righteous person, even if he speaks, especially when it comes to Quran and Sunnah, his behavior is more important than what advice he gives. If he introduces the advice to you in a nice way, he's a good person. He's a knowledgeable person. Even if he tells something true in a bad way, he has don't take any knowledge from him. That's why Sayyidina Abdullah ibn Mas'ud says, تعلمنا العلم مع العمل. We'll learn Quran and etiquette with action together, one package. Nowadays, and he said, some people will come after, they will have a knowledge of Quran more than us, but they have no actions. They don't act upon that. You know what Allah says about the hypocrite? It's like, I'm sorry to say animal, you can say horse, but Allah said, literally, donkey. If you have a donkey and you put the great books of Islam, of seerah, of tafsir and hadith of the Prophet at the back of that donkey, does donkey understand any of it? This is exactly the example of somebody carry on his back a lot of knowledge, but they don't act upon it. So what's the benefit? So if you want, and not only that, do you know what the Prophet ﷺ said about that, brother? Somebody great in behavior can be better than with Allah than a person who has a lot of knowledge and didn't act upon it. SubhanAllah. You know hadith? Can you give me a hadith? Yes. The Prophet ﷺ said, أكمل المؤمنين إيمانا, the perfect believer in Iman and in reward, those who have a lot of knowledge? No. أحاسنهم أخلاقا. Those who are perfect in behaviors, perfect in manners, in behaviors. What about if you have manners plus knowledge? How great manners he or lead. But more important, behaviors. Behaviors. How to behave with others. Prove your iman, pure love to Allah and His Messenger, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ, O Muhammad, if you ask them, why are you doing that? They will answer, we were only taking, joking, we were joking, we were kidding, we were playing. We have just fun. Say, O Muhammad, to them, was it at Allah and His ayat and His Messenger that you were mocking? Yeah, nowadays some people make a joke about verses of the Quran, you know that? Yeah. Yeah. SubhanAllah. Some people using the verses of the Quran to make jokes. Some ahadith. Some ahadith. For example, when the Prophet ﷺ advised us to say Bismillah before we have any dinner or lunch or meat or meal. So somebody eating a very traditional Egyptian meal, it's like very salted cheese. It's a tradition, it's from the ancient Egyptian. In the old time there is no refrigerator, there is nothing. So the way to keep that kind of cheese the whole year, because milk and dairy product not available the whole year for a certain season, and afterwards they have. So how to keep that kind of cheese healthy the whole year? We put a lot of salt in it, and it became until now very well-known traditional meal, and also spicy sometimes. So somebody want to harm the shaitan. Okay, I'm going to kill you today. I'm not going to say Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim so he can share with me the meal. Spicy and salty. So after a few bites, the shaitan said, come on man, say Bismillah is better than to eat that. Subhanallah. وَلَئِن سَأَلْتَهُمْ, if you ask them why you do that, why you mock on Allah and His Messenger and His verses and His signs, they said, we just have a job, we are kidding, we are playing, we have fun. Say, O Muhammad, was it at Allah and His signs and His book and His Messenger you were mocking? A man was sitting in a gathering and said, I have never seen like those reciters of ours. You remember the one who talked about the scholar? They have a huge stomach. He's mocking at the Muslims and the reciter and the knowledgeable people. How big stomach they have. And he said, the most lion times and are the most cowardice in the battle. They eat too much. They never participate supporting the Muslim troops. And they speak too much and they lie a lot. A man in the masjid said, you lie, oh hypocrite. You are a hypocrite. I will tell the Prophet ﷺ about what you said. A part of the Quran was revealed regarding this issue. Abdullah ibn Umar said, this verse, number 65. Abdullah ibn Umar said, I have seen that man afterwards holding on to the shoulders of the Prophet's camel while stones were falling on him, declaring, O Prophet, we were only engaged in kidding and, having fun, while the Prophet ﷺ was reciting قُلْ أَبِاللَّهِ وَآيَاتِهِ وَرَسُولِهِ كُنْتُمْ تَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. Was it at Allah's signs and messenger and Quran you were mocking? And the Prophet, and that person, was stoning, was punished by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So the Prophet ﷺ repeated for him the end of this verse. This is the punishment and the consequences of your mockery at Allah, His Messenger, and the righteous servant. And he kept excuse and asked the Prophet ﷺ's excuse. Allah said, لا تعتذروا. Make no excuse. You're disbelieved after you have believed in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah guided you to Islam. Why you turn yourself away from faith into hypocrisy? إن نعفو عن طائفة منكم نعذب طائفة بأنهم كانوا مجرمين. Even if we forgive, even if we excuse some of you, others will be punished severely because you were criminals. So Allah said criminal. Each word Allah, each form of criminal or crime Allah used only goes to two people: disbelievers, hypocrites, mujrimeen. And listen what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says regarding the hypocrites. Al-munafiquna, and I want you to pay attention because it's very important. Al-munafiquna wal-munafiqatu ba'duhum not awliya ba'd. You know what's awliya? Awliya means helper to one another, supporter to one another, secure one another, right? Allah didn't use that form because the hypocrites never help one another, never support one another. Everyone think deeply about his personal interest, doesn't care about even his friend. So they have no loyalty, they have no sincerity, no truthfulness, they have no covenant with one another. But when Allah used the form of Iman, وَالْمُؤْمِنُونَ وَالْمُؤْمِنَاتِ, Allah said they are friends, supporter, helper, loyal to one another. See the difference? So Allah in this verse said, وَالْمُنَافِقُونَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتُ بَعْضُهُمْ مِنْ بَعْضٍ. They are from the same kind of evil, hatred, enmity. They are the same qualities. They are the same characteristics. يَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمُنْكَرِ. They never enjoin for good. They always encourage one another to do evil. وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمَعْرُوفِ. Forbid one another from good. وَيَقْبِضُونَ أَيْدِيَهُمْ. They are very stingy. They don't want to spend out of their wealth for the sake of Allah. They never do that. You know, at the time of the Prophet, Allah said, هُمُ الَّذِينَ يَقُولُونَ لَا تُنْفِقُوا عَلَى مَنْ عِنْدَ رَسُولِ اللَّهِ حَتَّى يَنْفَضُّوا. Don't give any charity to the Muslim community. For what? For to leave the Prophet alone and they turn away from Islam into disbelief. Some people pray behind the Prophet intentionally. They had a plan not to spend on the poor Muslim people. For what? To let them turn away from the Prophet, turn away from Islam into Christianity or to any other religion, seeking financial help. لا تنفقوا على من عند رسول الله حتى ينفضوا. So Allah said, نسوا الله فنسيهم. They forgot Allah, so Allah forgotten them. As come on the day of judgment, you know what Allah said about them? كذلك أتتك آياتنا فنسيتها وكذلك اليوم نسيتها doesn't mean that you forgot, it's memorization. No. Intentionally you turn yourself away from the principle of the Quran. Allah said don't do that, no, you do it. Allah said do that, I'm not gonna do it. You ignore the principle of Islam. Therefore Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, as you ignore my command, as you ignore my principles in the life of this world, as you ignore my book, my prophet, we will ignore you. You know how Allah will ignore him? Allah is cursed. Allah's punishment, and the hellfire will be his in the day of judgment. وَقِيلَ الْيَوْمَ نَنْسَاكُمْ كَمَا نَسِيتُمْ لِقَاءَ يَوْمِكُمْ هَذَا وَمَأْوَاكُمُ النَّارِ. Your dwelling will be the hellfire. وَمَا لَكُمْ مِنْ نَاصِرٍ. Nobody will support you. Nobody will support you. إِنَّ الْمُنَافِقِينَ هُمُ الْفَاسِقُونَ. You know what Allah said about Jibreel? كان من about إبليس عليه لعنة الله. كان من الجن ففسق. You know what's فسق? He was among the obedient. Iblis was among the obedient. When Allah commanded him to bow down to Adam, kind of respect to the knowledge that Allah gave him, he said, no, this is exactly what happened to me. The person that I talked to you about, that he kept cursing the scroll, telling this, criticizing this and that. This is exactly why. I'm better than him. I'm better than Adam. Whom do you ask me to bow down to? Adam, he was made of clay. The Sheikh is from this country, I'm from that country. I'm an American citizen. Oh, okay. We will enter Jannah. Do we enter Jannah by passport? We hope so. No, by passport. There is another passport. The passport of sincerity, of truthfulness, of righteous deeds. The righteous deeds that you did for the sake of Allah. The advice that you gave for the sake of Allah. The prayer that you did for the sake of Allah. The charity that you gave for the sake of Allah. If the Prophet ﷺ said, no one of you would enter paradise because of his actions, then by what? Unless Allah bestows his mercy upon you. Including you. So how the Prophet was very humble, was very simple, and he said, I'm not guaranteed that I'm going to be in the Jannah unless Allah bestows mercy. And some people think, who's this, who's that? Inna al-munafiqeen. Indeed, the hypocrites are rebellious. Fasiqun. So Iblis was an obedient person. Because of arrogance, he became a rebellious. He became a hypocrite. He became a kafir. Subhanallah. Fir'aun, he saw a great sign, many signs. Now, I'm still able to defeat Musa, to destroy him. He saw many miracles. Number one, the stick of Musa, when Allah changed it into a huge snake, swallowed all the other snakes and the other ropes, was a sign. His hand, a sign. When he struck the sea and he passed, was a sign. And he denied all of that. He ignored all of that. What happened? He lost the life of this world and Allah. But Bilqis, the queen of Sheba, was very smart. She didn't send anybody to verify what's going on. No, by herself. She went. When she saw a great castles made of crystal on the surface of the water, and the bird brought a letter to her, right away, she didn't discuss with Musa, with Sulaiman. She had no discussion. Right away. رَبِّ إِنِّي ظَلَمْتُ نَفْسِي وَأَسْلَمْتُ مَعَ سُلَيْمَانَ لِلَّهِ رَبِّ الْعَالَمِينَ. I have wronged myself for a long time, but now I know who gave you that knowledge is Allah. Who sent the bird with the message of Allah. I believe with you, O Sulaiman, to Allah. See how great is that when you submit yourself to the truth. Not being arrogant, not being proud, don't put in yourself because of financial status, because social status, career status, position status. All of that will be nothing. Can you tell me, have you seen somebody talk his wealth with him in the grave? Can you tell me about somebody talk his position with him in his grave? Where's his bodyguards? Huh? Where are they? How long are they going to stay next to his grave? Huh? They will be the first to leave. They will be the first to put salt in his head. Sunnah. For what? For us to learn. Better for you to be in the path of Allah and the path of His Prophet, to win Allah's pleasure in this life and in the other life. To be honored by Allah in this life and the hereafter. وَمَنْ يُهِنِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ. But Allah, if Allah intend to humiliate someone, who's going to take him up to highest degree rather than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? That's the way to put yourself in the best rank and degree ever, is to follow the path of Allah and His Messenger. It doesn't matter if you are poor, it doesn't matter if you have no great position, it doesn't matter if you have no great family. All of that. Can you tell me about Bilal's family? How big family were they? Salman, one person. And you know, he won the nobility of being one of the Prophet's family. When everybody started, yeah, my tribe, do you know how many members in my tribe? 1,000, okay. There's 2,000, okay. Do you know how much camels do we have? 1 million, okay. And this. So the Prophet realized, you know what the Prophet said? My companions, attention please. Salman is one of my family members. How great is that, brother? Did he say that about anybody? Did he say in such great credit? Did he give it to anybody? Because he was a single person. He had no family. And everybody, unintentionally, they talk about their family and how great are they, parents, grandparents, wealth, position, power. And this person was a very simple person, but he was a true believer. Bilal. You know what the Prophet ﷺ said? سمعت I heard the sound of your footsteps in the Jannah, O Bilal. What are you doing? He said, may Allah give me a new Jannah, O Prophet. Nothing. What I know about myself, each time my wudu is broken, when I renew my wudu, I pray to rak'ah for this. Just to thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making me able to. He said, that's why you were. I heard your footsteps in the Jannah. If these people win Allah's pleasure and the Prophet's pleasure in the life of this world, why we don't learn from their great etiquettes and manners and behaviors? When I see Allah every day in the news, brother, Muslim killed, Muslim this, Muslim humiliate, Muslim disgrace, Muslim destroy, Muslim, it breaks my heart. Why? For what? Allah says in the Quran, "Kuntum khayra ummah." You are the best nation ever. With a condition, brother. With a condition. It's not just, here you go. تأمرون بالمعروف وتنهون عن المنكر وتؤمنون بالله. As long as you enjoy one another for good, try to put your Muslim brother in the good position of faith, behavior, in business, in marital relation, in all that. Try to help him be in a good form of life condition. Why we take advantage trying to destroy him? Don't you know that one of the scholars said, be with your brother against shaitan. Don't be with the shaitan against your brother. Every one of us makes mistakes. Why you always take the side of shaitan against your brother? Have you seen, I saw him doing so and so and so. What about, would you like that happen to you? To somebody to expose your faults when you do it? Would you like that? وعد الله المنافقين والمنافقات. Allah promised the hypocrites, men and women. And by the way, brother, when Allah talk about the punishment of the hypocrites, combined with kuffar. All the time. Recite the Quran, kuffar and munafiqeen, the same end. يا أيها النبي جاهد الكفار والمنافقين. Fight, O Prophet, the disbelievers, with them the hypocrites. وعد الله المنافقين والمنافقات والكفار. Allah promised the hypocrites, men and women, and the disbeliever, hellfire. فلا تطع الكافرين والمنافقين. Obey not the hypocrite nor the kafirin. Oh my God. So the hypocrites is not an easy issue. No. The end of the hypocrites will be the same end of the kuffar. Oh my God. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not accept except the pure heart and the sincere action that his servant did for the sake of Allah. That's why, brother, hypocrisy and sincerity cannot be in one heart, cannot be combined in one heart. Cannot. One drove out the others. One take out the others. Either iman to be more stronger to take out hypocrisy, or hypocrisy take out the iman. You cannot combine. Like oil and water, you cannot mix, you cannot combine them together. You have to be careful. That's why one of the Sahaba said, ما أمن النفاق إلا منافق معلوم النفاق. If somebody says I'm secure from hypocrisy, he's a well-known hypocrite. وما خشي النفاق إلا مؤمن معلوم الإيمان. The more you're concerned about hypocrisy, the more you are worried about hypocrisy, the more you are well-known believer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why one of the dua of the righteous servant, اللهم طهر قلبي من النفاق عليه السلام. Oh Allah, purify my heart from hypocrisy, my tongue from false speech, my eyes from false vision, from that forbidden vision, and my actions from arrogance and hypocrisy. وأعمالنا من الرياء. For great dua. طهر قلوبنا من النفاق. Purify our hearts from hypocrisy. وأعيننا من الخيانة. Our eyes from treachery, from stealing evil vision. وألسنتنا, our tongue from false speech or telling lie. وأعمالنا من الرياء. Our righteous deeds from not being arrogant, from being proud, from not being proud. So Allah said, وَعَدَ اللَّهُ الْمُنَافِقِينَ وَالْمُنَافِقَاتِ. Allah has promised the hypocrite, men and women and disbeliever together, what? Hellfire. خَالِدِينَ فِيهَا. They will live therein everlasting. It will be suffice for them. Allah has cursed them. So how many? I want you to count with me. Number one, hellfire. هي حسبهم, will suffice them. وَلَعَنَهُمُ اللَّهُ. Allah will curse them. وَلَهُمْ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ. They will live in the hellfire everlasting. The torment will be everlasting. How many? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will punish them by the hellfire, will suffice them with the hellfire, Allah will curse them, the torment will befall them everlasting. Why? Because it's a very strong message from Allah. Try your best to purify your intention, your heart, your tongue, your vision from any kind of falsehood. From any kind of... That's why when the Prophet ﷺ said, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَقْبَلُ مِنَ الْعَمَلِ إِلَّا مَا كَانَ خَالِصًا وَبِتُغِيَ بِهِ وَجْهًا. Do you want to know if your deeds were accepted or not? Two conditions. خَالِصًا وَبِتُغِيَ. You know what خَالِصًا means? According to the teachings of the Quran and the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. وَبِتُغِيَ بِهِ وَجْهًا. To seek nobody's face with it, but the face of Allah. What about? Because the Prophet ﷺ said, some people committing shirk while they don't know. He said, how? He said, if somebody stands in a prayer or praying, try to purify his recitation, prolong his ruku', his sujood. Allahu Akbar. Subhanallah. Brother, and that one our Prophet ﷺ heard one like that. He said, brother, إنكم لا تدعون أصما ولا غائبا. Why you raise your voice when you pray, when you make dhikr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Allah is not deaf. Allah is not blind. Allah is not absent. إنكم تدعون سميعا بصيرا. Allah is all known about you. Do what you say. You don't need to raise your voice over others. Some other hadith the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يؤذي أحدكم أخاه فيرفع صوته على صوت أخيه. Don't bother, don't annoy your Muslim brother by raising your voice in the Quran, in the Salah, in Tasabih, in Ruku' and Sujood over his brother, so you disturb him. You disturb his concentration. You disturb his khushu'. So the iman is in the heart, it's not in the tongue. See the difference, brother? So it's not but how you raise your voice out. No. The issue is to connect your heart to Allah. فَأَقِمْ وَجْهَكَ لِلدِّينِ حَنِيفًا وَمَنْ يُسْلِمْ وَجْهَهُ لِلَّهِ. Submit your heart and your face to Allah, not your tongue. Not your tongue. Iman is not in the tongue. Iman is in the heart. Iman is in the heart. And the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah is looking at what? At your tongue? At your voice? At your heart and your actions. Did you do it sincerely for the sake of Allah, seeking nobody's face but Allah? This is the condition for your deeds to be accepted. اللهم إنا نسألك الهدى والتقى والعفاف والغنى. يسر أمورنا، فرج كروبنا، اقض حوائجنا، بلغنا مما يرضيك آمالنا، اختم بالباقيات الصالحات أعمالنا. نعوذ بك من الهم والحزن، ونعوذ بك من العجز والكسل، ونعوذ بك من الجبن والبخل، ونعوذ بك من غلبة الدين وقهر الرجال. اللهم إنا نسألك فعل الخيرات وترك المنكرات وحب المساكين، وأن تغفر لنا وترحمنا. وصل اللهم وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.